for these despicable attacks. The Department of Justice is setting up a hotline for families who fear that their relatives may have been victims of one of these attacks, and we will be announcing that telephone number shortly. Our fellow citizens and our freedom came under attack today, and no one should doubt America's resolve. President Bush and all our country's leaders thank the many Americans who are helping with rescue and relief efforts. We ask our fellow Americans for your prayers for the victims, for their families, for the rescue workers, and for our country. Thank you all very much, and we will continue to update you as information is available and confirmed.
When will the President return to the White House?
All right, Karen Hughes, very close to President Bush, a spokesperson for him, was throughout the entire campaign for the presidency, and that is what she had to say. We're going to go to New York, I believe, right?
Right. Doug Kriegel is standing by live. Doug, are you in Manhattan? Have you been able to make your way into the city yet? You are. You're at
Yes,
WNBC.
I have. In fact, I think I'm one of the few people who was able to actually get into Manhattan. The island of Manhattan has been virtually sealed off. Thousands of people are leaving through bridges and tunnels. I did manage to get into the island of Manhattan with an NBC press pass and a credit card, but it's quite a situation. The site of the World Trade Center virtually decapitated is devastating people. In fact, the sight of victims jumping from the top of that 110-story building, people on fire, hitting the ground, it was absolutely terrifying. In fact, witnesses still can't believe it. People are still not sure how many victims there were, how many were up in those towers, but you've heard the estimates, and they are frightening. At this point, people are getting out of Manhattan. They're not being allowed inside. You know, New Yorkers are famous for bearing up against whatever the world throws at them. And in fact, they are. Thousands of people are going to hospitals, giving blood for the victims, the wounded, people who need blood. But I would be remiss if I didn't also say there is a tremendous anger and fury out there in the streets at whoever did this act. There is tremendous anger from police officers, firefighters, ordinary citizens. Everybody is absolutely furious, but they are bearing up, as New Yorkers are famous for doing.
Doug, I talked to a couple of New York natives that are working and living out here this morning, and they told me that the sight of the World Trade Center towers being gone was almost too much for them to comprehend. And I'm trying to think of something analogous here in Los Angeles. It's like Dodger Stadium being gone. You know, it's like it's like
the Arco Towers.
The Arco Tower, Staples Center. I mean, having said that, what is the first thing that struck you when you got into the city of Manhattan? Now, the World Trade Center was in the southern part of Manhattan, correct?
Lower Manhattan.
Yes,
Lower
that's
Manhattan.
right. That's right. Actually, driving into Manhattan on the Long Island Expressway, from 30 miles away, you could see the plume of gray-white smoke over the island of Manhattan, over the New York skyline. And I think your analogy is appropriate. Dodger Stadium, Staples Center, something at LAX, the heart of the city. In fact, the bulwark of capitalism, the World Trade Center, if you will, attacked and savagely decapitated. That sight is truly devastating to people here. People just can't comprehend it. It's as if a mortal blow has been struck against the city, and someone apparently has succeeded in committing an incredible act of terrorism. And I think that people find that a little bit frightening. In fact, someone from Israel said to me, now Americans are beginning to realize what it's like to have terrorism on the streets, near your homes, you know, in your cities. And I think there's some truth to that.
Doug, even looking at the pictures here, it's hard to comprehend. We remember 8 years ago when there was a bombing. You know, the Twin Towers were opened within a month and repaired. This is not going to happen here. The numbers we're hearing, as many as 200 firefighters still missing. What's it like in terms of area around here now? The pictures we see, people are walking around shell-shocked.
You know, that word shell-shocked is exactly the right word. I think millions of people in New York City right now are shell-shocked. They've been attacked. They're not sure who attacked them. They're not even sure how the thing occurred or how they were able to fly those planes into those towers. But people are just totally shell-shocked, especially in the area of Lower Manhattan where it happened. Everybody is sort of covered with cinders and ash, and all of that smoke is still generating a great deal of cinders and ash, and it's just devastating to everyone here.
My God, Doug, you know, to the left of you on our screen, we just saw that shot again. I don't know whether you've had a chance to see it or not, but it's tape of that 757 coming in from the right-hand side and hitting one of those towers and the fireball coming out the other side. Have you had a chance to see that? And talk to me about anger and talk to me about how people think this is going to change their lives forever.